When you face adversity, it often feels like the world is working against you. The challenges, the disappointments, the struggles, all of them seem to come in waves and they can feel overwhelming. But what if I told you that those very obstacles are signs of something greater? What if the difficulties you are facing are not a sign of your weakness, but rather a mark of your unique power? In fact, these struggles could very well be the confirmation that you are about to step into a new level of your potential. You see, when you're chosen for greatness, the path is rarely smooth. The hurdles you encounter are a reflection of your strength, your resolve, and your readiness to take on what's coming next. Every challenge you face serves a purpose in shaping you into who you are destined to be. There's an undeniable force within you that draws these challenges in order to refine you, to prepare you for the higher calling ahead. Those who are meant for greatness don't go unnoticed by life's circumstances. In fact, the more significant your purpose, the greater the obstacles you will face. The universe has a way of testing your limits, pushing you to see just how far you can go before breaking through to the next level. It's important to understand that the difficulties you're experiencing are not random. They are not coincidences. They are deliberate moments meant to stretch you, to strengthen your character, and to build resilience. It's in the toughest times that you develop the most. Each problem you solve, each setback you recover from, brings you closer to mastering your purpose. These challenges are not meant to break you. They're meant to build you into a person who can withstand anything life throws your way. It's easy to get caught in the trap of seeing challenges as obstacles, as roadblocks that stop us from achieving our goals. But when you realize that each challenge is an opportunity to strengthen your inner power, your perspective shifts. You stop seeing them as hindrances and start recognizing them as stepping stones. Life isn't trying to knock you down, it's giving you the opportunities you need to grow, to rise higher, and to become more. When you acknowledge the significance of these challenges, you also begin to understand that they are evidence of something larger at play. The intensity of what you're going through is not a reflection of your inadequacy. It's a sign of your potential. You are capable of achieving more than you can imagine. And because of that, you are being tested. Just like gold is refined through fire, you are being purified through adversity, becoming stronger and more powerful with each passing moment. People who are destined for greatness are often misunderstood. The intensity of their struggles can seem out of proportion to their abilities. Yet this is the very thing that sets them apart. You have been chosen for greatness, and that comes with a price. But it also comes with immense reward. The very obstacles that seem to stand in your way are the signs that you are on the right track. The more you encounter, the closer you are to realizing your full potential. As you go through life's tests, you must remind yourself that you are not being punished, you are being prepared. The purpose of these challenges is not to defeat you, but to elevate you. You are being equipped with the strength and the wisdom needed to fulfill your higher calling. Every struggle, every trial is an opportunity to tap into a deeper reservoir of power within you. When you understand that your struggles are a sign of your unique anointing, you no longer feel defeated by them. Instead, you learn to embrace them. You know that each challenge is a mark of your destiny, a confirmation that you are on the path you are meant to walk. This understanding allows you to approach life with a new mindset, one that sees obstacles as opportunities for growth rather than as setbacks. The deeper you go in your journey, the more you will realize that the road to greatness is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who have the courage to rise each time they fall, to face the storms and come out stronger. Your struggles are not a sign that you are weak. They are proof that you are chosen for something bigger. They are the very reason you must push forward, to prove to yourself and the world that you have what it takes to achieve everything that you are capable of. You are not just facing random challenges. These are not just bumps in the road. These are the markers of your destiny, guiding you toward the powerful future that awaits you. And in the midst of the storm, if you can shift your perspective and see these difficulties for what they truly are, you will realize that you are not being broken down. You are being built up for the greatness that lies ahead. Negative feelings are an inevitable part of the human experience. They show up unexpectedly and often seem to last longer than we would like. Whether it's fear, sadness, frustration, or anger, these emotions can take hold of us and make us feel as though we're stuck in a cycle of negativity. But it's important to understand that these feelings are not permanent. They are temporary states of mind, not permanent reflections of who we are or what our future holds. Just like the clouds that obscure the sun for a short time, negative emotions are temporary. They may appear dark and heavy, but with time, they will dissipate, and the clarity of your mind will return. It's crucial to recognize that the presence of negative feelings does not define you. They do not make you weak, incapable, or less than anyone else. Everyone experiences negative emotions at different times in their lives. It's how you respond to them that truly matters. The key to moving beyond negative feelings is not to suppress them, but to recognize them for what they are: momentary experiences that do not control your destiny. By understanding that these feelings do not have the power to dictate your future, you can free yourself from their grasp. The idea that negative feelings are temporary allows you to maintain a sense of perspective. When you find yourself caught up in a wave of negativity, remind yourself that it's not permanent. You don't need to allow it to consume you. In fact, the more you resist the idea that negative emotions will last forever, the more empowered you become to move through them quickly. The awareness that these feelings will pass is one of the most powerful tools in overcoming them. You are not stuck with your emotions. You can acknowledge them, understand their temporary nature, and move forward. Often the root of our negative feelings lies in our expectations. We expect life to be smooth and without conflict. And when things don't go according to plan, we feel disappointed, frustrated, or angry. This emotional response is completely natural. However, it's important to recognize that life's challenges and setbacks are not a reflection of our inadequacy. They are part of the process of growth. And while they may bring negative emotions, these emotions are simply a signal that something is out of alignment with our expectations or desires. When we reframe these situations and understand that life is not about avoiding negativity, but about learning how to navigate through it, we take back our power. What many people don't realize is that negative feelings can actually serve a purpose. They are often signals that there is something we need to address, something within us that requires attention. These feelings aren't necessarily to be avoided or pushed aside, but rather understood and examined. By doing so, we can gain insight into what is causing us distress, and we can take conscious steps to change our situation or mindset. Negative feelings are an invitation to look within and determine where we need to grow, heal, or shift our thinking. This shift in perspective allows us to use negativity as a tool for growth, rather than as something that holds us back. Another important aspect of negative feelings is that they often come with lessons. When we feel negative emotions, they can push us to make changes in our lives. They force us to ask important questions. What am I tolerating that I shouldn't be? What can I change to improve my circumstances? What do I need to learn in order to move forward? Negative emotions prompt action, and it's through this action that we evolve. Once we begin to recognize the power of negative feelings as catalysts for change, we can move from a place of helplessness to one of empowerment. Instead of seeing them as something to avoid, we start to welcome them as opportunities to learn and grow. The most important thing to remember is that negative feelings do not control your future unless you allow them to. You have the power to choose how you react to these emotions. When you face negativity, remind yourself that it is a passing storm. You can acknowledge the feeling without allowing it to define your actions or your mindset. Recognizing that negative emotions will pass allows you to let go of any attachment to them. You no longer need to identify with them or give them the power to hold you back. By accepting that they are temporary, you give yourself the freedom to move forward and rise above them. Learning to navigate negative emotions is not about rejecting them or pretending they don't exist. It's about accepting that they are a natural part of life and then choosing how to respond. By remembering their temporary nature, you release the power they hold over you. This is the key to emotional resilience, not being immune to negative feelings, but learning to move through them with grace, knowing that they will eventually give way to peace and clarity. The power to change the course of your life lies in the ability to shift your focus. In the midst of challenges and negative emotions, it can be easy to get consumed by what is going wrong, to fixate on the obstacles and setbacks that seem insurmountable. However, the secret to overcoming these hurdles and emerging stronger lies not in fighting against them, but in redirecting your focus. When you begin to shift your attention from the problem to the solution, from what you don't have to what you do have, you unleash a powerful force within you that propels you forward no matter the circumstances. Most people spend far too much time focusing on their limitations and the things they lack. They get caught in a loop of scarcity thinking where they constantly focus on what's missing in their lives, the job they don't have, the relationships that aren't working, the finances that aren't coming together. This mindset breeds frustration, fear, and a sense of hopelessness. But what if instead of looking at what's wrong, you began to focus on what's going right? What if you turn your attention to your strengths, the progress you've made, and the opportunities that are within your reach? By shifting your focus, you begin to see the world through a new lens, one where possibilities are endless and challenges are just stepping stones to your success. This shift in focus doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties or pretending that they don't exist. It simply means that you are choosing to prioritize what is positive, what is within your control, and what can lead you to the next phase of growth. When you focus on solutions instead of problems, you begin to see options where before there were only obstacles. Your mind becomes attuned to opportunities, to creative ideas, and to new ways of approaching the situation. The more you focus on what you want rather than what you fear, the more energy you direct toward achieving your goals and manifesting your desires. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is moving from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. In moments of struggle, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that there isn't enough time, enough resources, enough opportunity. But when you focus on abundance, you begin to see that there is more than enough to go around. There are endless opportunities, countless possibilities, and infinite potential. This change in mindset opens you up to new ideas, new resources, and new connections that you might have missed if you had continued to focus on lack. Focusing on abundance also allows you to see the bigger picture. When you feel overwhelmed by life's challenges, it can be easy to lose sight of the larger plan. But when you step back and focus on the bigger picture, you begin to understand that everything that is happening is leading you to something greater. Every challenge, every failure, and every setback is part of your personal growth and is necessary to prepare you for the success that is waiting for you. Shifting your focus helps you to stay aligned with your purpose and to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when it doesn't feel that way in the moment. Another key aspect of shifting your focus is learning to be present. Often our negative emotions stem from worrying about the future or regretting the past. We get trapped in what hasn't happened yet or in what went wrong. This kind of thinking keeps us stuck in a state of stress and anxiety where we feel disconnected from our power. By focusing on the present moment, we free ourselves from the grip of worry and self-doubt. The present moment is where our power lies, where our actions can make a difference, and where we can begin to take steps toward a better future. When we focus on the here and now, we create space for clarity, creativity, and purposeful action. A shift in focus also involves a change in perspective. Instead of viewing a setback as a failure, you can choose to see it as a learning opportunity. Instead of focusing on how unfair life feels, you can choose to see how these challenges are shaping you into the person you are becoming. This shift in perspective allows you to embrace the journey rather than resenting it. It frees you from the need to control everything, and instead you begin to trust in the process and the lessons that come with it. The practice of shifting your focus is not something that happens overnight. It requires discipline, intentionality, and consistent effort. But as you make it a habit to focus on what's going well, what you can control, and the abundance that exists in your life, you begin to change your internal landscape. Your thoughts become more positive, your actions become more aligned with your purpose, and your energy becomes more focused on creating the life you desire. Over time, this shift becomes second nature, and you find yourself rising above challenges with ease because you know that where your focus goes, your energy flows. One of the most important insights you can gain on your journey is understanding that you are not your emotions. Emotions are temporary experiences, fleeting in nature, and they often do not reflect your true identity or your potential. Too often, People make the mistake of allowing their feelings to define who they are. They assume that because they feel angry, sad, or frustrated that they are, in essence, an angry, sad, or frustrated person. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Emotions are simply signals, not the essence of who you are. You are more than your feelings. You are a dynamic, capable individual with the power to choose how you respond to your emotions. When you feel negative emotions, it's important to remind yourself that these feelings are not permanent, nor do they have the power to define you. You are not destined to remain in a negative state forever. Negative emotions are like clouds passing through the sky. Sometimes they may be dark and heavy, but just like the weather, they will pass. They are temporary, transient experiences that hold no power over your long-term destiny. Understanding this allows you to detach from your emotions and recognize them for what they truly are, a passing experience that does not have to govern your actions or decisions. It is essential to learn to observe your emotions without getting attached to them. Instead of identifying with them, you can recognize them for what they are: temporary, surface-level feelings that will soon be replaced by something else. This mindset shift allows you to regain control over your emotional state, rather than letting your emotions control you. When you observe your feelings without judgment, you create space between yourself and the emotion. This space enables you to decide how you want to respond, rather than reacting impulsively based on how you feel in the moment. By learning to separate yourself from your emotions, you free yourself from the need to constantly validate how you feel. It's easy to get trapped in the cycle of constantly trying to make sense of your emotions, overanalyzing them, or making them the focus of your life. However, this only perpetuates a feeling of being out of control. Instead, if you allow your feelings to come and go without attaching any significance to them, you release their power over you. You are not your feelings, and your feelings do not dictate your worth. Your worth is intrinsic. It exists regardless of how you feel at any given moment. In this way, you can begin to shift your relationship with emotions. Instead of fearing negative emotions or trying to suppress them, you can choose to embrace them as part of the natural human experience. Emotions are messengers. They provide valuable information about what is going on inside of you and in your environment. Negative emotions, for example, may signal that something in your life is out of alignment with your values or desires. They may point to a need for change, growth, or healing. However, recognizing the temporary nature of these emotions allows you to see them as feedback rather than as a reflection of your identity. Another critical aspect of not identifying with your emotions is understanding that emotions are often influenced by external circumstances, and they do not define your future. Just because you feel disappointed today doesn't mean you'll feel disappointed forever. Emotions are fluid. They change based on your experiences, your thoughts, and your actions. The more you become aware of how your emotions arise and change, the more you understand that they don't have the power to predict what will happen next in your life. Your future is not determined by the emotions you feel in this moment. It is shaped by your decisions, your mindset, and the actions you choose to take. One of the most empowering realizations you can have is that your emotional state is a result of how you interpret the world. The same event can trigger vastly different emotional responses depending on how you perceive it. Two people can face the same challenge, and one might feel defeated while the other sees it as an opportunity for growth. This realization gives you control over your emotions because you can choose how you interpret situations. Instead of automatically defaulting to negative emotions in the face of difficulty, you can train your mind to focus on the potential for growth, the lessons to be learned, and the strength to be gained. Your emotional state is also deeply connected to your thoughts. And because you have control over your thoughts, you also have the power to control your emotions. When you feel overwhelmed by negativity, the key is to redirect your thoughts. Change your focus to what you can control, to what is going well in your life, and to the positive aspects of your current situation. By consciously shifting your thoughts, you influence your emotions, moving yourself away from negative feelings and toward more positive, empowering ones. Ultimately, understanding that you are not your emotions gives you the freedom to live your life with greater peace and control. You stop being a slave to your feelings and start becoming the master of your emotional state. This shift allows you to take intentional action rather than reacting impulsively out of emotional turbulence. When you let go of the need to identify with your feelings, you allow yourself to respond to life from a place of clarity, wisdom, and inner strength. Your emotions may come and go, but your true essence remains constant, unaffected by the temporary fluctuations of your feelings. One of the most powerful tools you have in overcoming negative feelings is the ability to create a shift in your perspective. The way you perceive a situation often determines how you feel about it and ultimately how you respond to it. When you view challenges through a negative lens, they appear much larger than they actually are. And you might feel overwhelmed or defeated. But when you choose to reframe the situation, when you consciously decide to view it from a different angle, you can transform the way you feel about it. This shift in perspective is not about ignoring the difficulties or pretending that everything is fine. It's about changing the way you engage with the challenges that come your way. One of the first steps in reframing a situation is understanding that challenges are a natural part of life. Life is a journey of growth, and growth comes through overcoming obstacles. The difficult moments are not punishments or signs that you are doing something wrong. They are the very experiences that are shaping you, building your resilience, and preparing you for greater success. When you embrace the idea that challenges are an essential part of your development, you begin to see them as opportunities rather than burdens. The negative feelings that arise in these moments become signals that you are being stretched, that you are on the verge of learning something new, or that you are being prepared for something greater. Another critical element in shifting your perspective is to focus on what you can control. When we feel overwhelmed by negative emotions, it's often because we are focusing on things that are beyond our control. We worry about the future, obsess over past mistakes, or try to change things that are not in our power to influence. This focus on the uncontrollable only increases feelings of helplessness and frustration. But when you consciously shift your focus to what is within your control, the actions you can take, the decisions you can make, the attitude you can choose, you regain a sense of agency over your life. This shift not only helps to reduce feelings of negativity, but it empowers you to take action that moves you forward, no matter the situation. An important part of reframing is also recognizing the temporary nature of negative emotions. When you feel frustrated, anxious, or sad, it's easy to believe that these feelings will last forever. You might feel trapped or stuck in the moment, unsure of how to break free. However, every emotion is temporary, and just like waves on the ocean, they will ebb and flow. This understanding allows you to distance yourself from the emotion, giving you the space to breathe and think clearly. Rather than being consumed by the feeling, you can remind yourself that it will pass, and with that reminder, you allow yourself the freedom to move forward. Another key aspect of shifting your perspective is developing gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most effective ways to reframe negative emotions and shift your mindset. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you take your attention away from what is lacking or difficult in your life, and you start to focus on the abundance that exists around you. Gratitude helps to shift your perspective from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. It brings your attention to the positive aspects of your life, no matter how small they may seem. And it helps you see the value in every experience, even the difficult ones. By practicing gratitude regularly, you can reframe negative emotions by grounding yourself in the present moment and recognizing the good that already exists in your life. Perspective also shifts when you stop viewing setbacks as failures. Often, when things don't go as planned, we view these events as personal failures or evidence that we are not capable of achieving our goals. But the reality is that setbacks are often necessary steps in the process of success. They provide us with valuable lessons, insights, and growth opportunities that we wouldn't have gained otherwise. By reframing setbacks as learning experiences, you begin to view them not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones on the path to success. This perspective shift frees you from the negative emotions that come with failure and empowers you to keep moving forward with renewed determination. It's also important to recognize the power of self-compassion in reframing negative emotions. When we are experiencing negative feelings, it's easy to become critical of ourselves. We may beat ourselves up for feeling anxious, angry, or sad, thinking that we should be stronger or more resilient. However, this self-criticism only amplifies the negativity. By practicing self-compassion, you create space for yourself to experience the emotion without judgment. You acknowledge that it's okay to feel what you feel, and you treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend. Self-compassion allows you to release guilt or shame and instead focus on healing and in growth. Another powerful shift in perspective comes when you focus on your strengths rather than your weaknesses. Negative emotions often arise when we compare ourselves to others or focus on areas where we feel inadequate. We begin to feel like we are not enough, that we are falling short in some way. However, shifting your focus to your strengths, what you are good at, the talents you possess, the successes you've achieved can help you regain confidence and a sense of power. When you recognize your own value, your sense of self-worth grows, and the negative emotions that stem from comparison or insecurity lose their hold on you. Finally, shifting your perspective requires a level of trust in the process of life. It's about letting go of the need for everything to be perfect and understanding that life is unfolding as it should. Challenges, setbacks, and negative emotions are part of this process, and they are leading you to exactly where you need to be. When you trust in this process and believe that everything is happening for your benefit, even the most difficult experiences become bearable. This trust gives you the strength to persevere, knowing that your future holds greater things, and that the current moment is only a small piece of the larger picture. To fully unlock the power of your anointing and overcome negative feelings, one of the most essential steps is learning how to build a resilient mindset. The ability to remain strong, focused, and positive in the face of adversity is not something that happens by accident. It is a skill that requires intentional cultivation. Resilience is not about avoiding challenges or denying pain. It's about developing the inner strength to bounce back and keep moving forward, no matter the circumstances. This mindset shift begins with the understanding that every difficulty is a part of your personal growth, a tool that, when properly harnessed, can propel you forward toward your goals. A resilient mindset is grounded in a strong sense of purpose. When you know why you are doing something, why you are striving for a particular goal, you develop a deep internal motivation that can carry you through the hardest times. This sense of purpose gives your actions meaning. And when you encounter setbacks or negative emotions, it serves as a reminder of why you must push through. Your purpose acts as an anchor, holding you steady when the winds of doubt and frustration blow. By clarifying your purpose, you align your actions with a greater vision for your life, making it easier to stay motivated and focused when faced with obstacles. Another key element of building a resilient mindset is learning to embrace discomfort. Many people avoid discomfort at all costs, thinking that if they can avoid pain, fear, or uncertainty, they will be happy. However, true growth happens when you step outside of your comfort zone and face discomfort head on. Every time you confront a challenge, every time you choose to face your fears, you become stronger. Rather than seeing discomfort as something to be avoided, you learn to see it as an opportunity for growth. Resilience is born in the moments when you choose to keep going despite feeling uncertain or afraid. By learning to embrace discomfort, you begin to train yourself to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity. A resilient mindset also involves the ability to adapt. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we plan, things will not always go according to our expectations. However, adaptability is the key to overcoming challenges without being crushed by them. When you encounter a setback, the question isn't, why did this happen to me? But rather, how can I adapt to this situation and make the best of it? Resilient individuals don't let obstacles stop them. They pivot, adjust their approach, and continue moving forward. The more flexible you become in your thinking and actions, the less likely you are to be derailed by the inevitable ups and downs of life. It's also essential to understand that building resilience is an ongoing process. It's not something that you achieve once and for all, but rather something that you continuously cultivate throughout your life. Every challenge you face, every negative emotion you overcome, adds to your emotional toolkit, making you more equipped to handle future difficulties. Over time, as you experience more hardships and face them with a resilient mindset, you begin to develop a stronger sense of self-confidence. You start to realize that no matter what life throws at you, you have the resources to handle it. This belief in your ability to overcome adversity reinforces your resilience and strengthens your inner resolve. Part of cultivating resilience also involves surrounding yourself with positive influences. The people you spend time with have a significant impact on your mindset. Negative, unsupportive individuals can drain your energy and reinforce feelings of doubt and fear, while positive, supportive people can uplift you and encourage you to keep going. Building a network of individuals who believe in you and your potential can provide a vital source of strength when times get tough. They can offer encouragement, perspective, and practical advice that can help you stay on track and continue pushing forward. The relationships you nurture can act as a buffer against negativity, helping you stay resilient in the face of life's challenges. A resilient mindset also requires a deep belief in your own self-worth and capabilities. When you believe that you are worthy of success, happiness, and fulfillment, you are more likely to keep going when things get tough. Many people struggle with negative emotions because they doubt their own abilities or feel undeserving of success. They are afraid of failure and worry that they will never be able to overcome their challenges. However, resilient individuals understand that failure is simply a part of the journey, not a reflection of their value. They know that setbacks do not define them. Rather, it is how they respond to setbacks that shapes their future success. By cultivating a deep belief in yourself and your potential, you create the foundation for resilience that will carry you through difficult times. In addition, self-care plays a vital role in building and maintaining resilience. Taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional health allows you to stay strong and focused when challenges arise. Resilience doesn't mean pushing through exhaustion or neglecting your needs. It means ensuring that you are in the best possible shape to handle life's difficulties. Prioritizing rest, nutrition, exercise, and mental well-being helps you stay energized and balanced, making it easier to stay resilient when faced with adversity. Self-care is not a luxury, it is a necessity for building a resilient mindset. Finally, resilience requires a positive outlook on life. Maintaining a positive attitude, even in the face of adversity, is one of the most powerful tools for overcoming negative feelings. A positive mindset allows you to see the silver lining in every situation, to recognize opportunities for growth even in the most challenging circumstances. While it's normal to feel negative emotions from time to time, resilient individuals choose not to stay in those emotions. They choose to focus on the positive aspects of their lives and to see every challenge as a stepping stone toward greater success. The more you practice positive thinking, the more you reinforce the belief that you are capable of overcoming anything that comes your way. This positive outlook fuels your resilience and gives you the strength to keep moving forward, no matter what obstacles lie ahead.